Hey guys, welcome back to episode 5 of Make War Not Love. And as you guys heard last time, Amanda won't be able to join us for future. So in the meantime, I'm going to be having on a rotating cast of guests, primarily women. That may change that in the future. And my criteria is always smart, intelligent women with backbone who can stand up for what they think. So hence my first guest is, I like to affectionately call her Mr. Anderson or Anderson. Just before she introduces herself, I just want to say she's the person who got me to start my first podcast, Joe the Drummer. I told her I wanted to do it. She helped me set up with the director and everything I needed. It didn't work out, but that was for the better. I moved on to a second and now, of course, my third. So, Mr. Anderson.
Yes. It is true. You are on your third podcast. Sure, you need to slow down, Joe.
Oh, trust me. I'm telling you, the moment I get more money, I'm starting 2 other podcasts. I'm not joking. Like, continues. I'm going to have 3 podcasts running, right? I already know in my head, like, who I want to work with and what I want to do. For me, it's always about that. Good conversation is its own reward.
Yes.
Right?
You're right.
So,
You're right.
yeah, I ain't going to stop
I
now.
hear you. Okay. Sorry. You just said 3 and I just realized, oh my God, it's true. It is 3.
Oh, yeah. Me, I never give up. Like, when I need to get something done, come hell or high water, I will achieve it. My greatest gift is being stubborn.
Yeah.
Like,
Dululu is the only Sululu. By fire,
the
by
stories
force.
I have, the fire by force. Like, everyone is always angry at me that I cuss a lot.
I
My
do too.
mother,
I'm fixing that though. Me, it's really bad.
my
woman
mother
that
has
cusses?
yeah, it's okay. My mother has tried so many times to get me to stop cussing.
Yeah.
My family has tried so many times, and every time I tell them like, "Yo, look, if I don't want to do something, I ain't gonna do it."
You need to be okay with it.
Yeah,
For now. We will fix it, but yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Like, if I have to go talk to important people, I'll behave and be
I'm
eloquent.
not behaving lately.
But when I'm with my friends and boys, people think I'm like people always think I'm out of pocket. But then like when I'm with the boys, I'm horrendous. Like we're all horrendous.
Now
It's like,
them they know out of pocket Joe.
Oh,
People
yeah.
think they know out of pocket Joe. Your boys are like you haven't seen that.
They know the jokes I make. It's not like like this is the difference I think maybe between men and women. It's like guys, we bond over making the most like we tell each other the most racist jokes we have, right? Attack each other the most vicious way. And we all know it's fun.
Yes.
It's so serious, right? But
Yes.
girls
Well, I studied at Saint Andre, and we call it in Kinyarwanda gusererezanya. It is like a culture. You have to grow thick skin. So at Saint Andre, my people, they would, to a point that someone called me Diggy. So I had gained weight, and my stomach was showing a bit. Hi, Setsu. And he
That's
was
personal.
like, hey, Diggy. No, I love him because he was like the best of the best. He would never see me as a woman and be like, I don't tease her. Nah, he would tease the out of me. And he really grew, because at first it became a thing for me. I was like, what the hell is with that guy? What does he have a problem with me? He nicknamed us Abada Chogora, which is I ended up making a song out of it.
What does that mean?
Song. So normally it means the resilient ones. But then I didn't know what it means because it's such a strong Kinyarwanda word. So I was like, why does he insult us? Because we're a group of girls. And I always thought he meant mean girls because that was the energy he was giving. So I went home and I complained to my mom. I'm like, this guy disrespected me and called me. And then I said the name. And my mom was like, wait a minute. That's not an insult. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, do you not know find the verb in the word? Because most Rwandan names have verbs. I was like, "Kudacho, and she was like, do you know what that means? She was like, it's being resilient. I don't see where the insult is. You know?
I get it. I like that because it's like with the women I know in my life, it's like they'll tell me like, oh, I got called a bitch. And I'm always like, take that with pride. Like, because it's like...
But let me tell you, the energy behind. Yeah. Also, check the energy. Because, girl, I don't allow every girl to call me bitch. I'm like, I don't know you like that.
That is
true. I don't know you like that.
It depends on how you use the word, right? Like, the energy behind it and the way you use it. But it's like, I've always said, like, if you're called own what you are and no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable people calling each other nigga or bitch. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. But I understand people that have a problem with it also. And... I get it. Some things I'm like, some of the things I'm like, well...
It is what it is.
It is what... You have to allow every situation to be judged in its own context. Every time. Because that's the thing I was talking about when it comes to you. People are like, oh my God, he's so out of pocket. And I'm like, can we focus on the context for 5 minutes? Because is he lying? And no one is saying no. But they're like, but the way he said... And I was like, okay, there's an issue of tone. did the tone bother you? Are we talking about
that
the tone?
I'll take responsibility. Like before, it's like I was more out of pocket and I wasn't as careful with my words. And I've tried a lot to improve that. I think it's gotten much better. I think it's gotten much.
And Amanda, good job.
It's gotten much better than it was before.
Yeah.
But as well, it's also like example, like with the clips we do. I'm more careful how to do them because I'll have to add an extra 20 or 30 seconds at the end to provide context. Because out of context, some of them like are completely out of pocket. But when I add context, it's like, okay, I understand.
I understand what you mean. Me, I don't have a problem with how you think. Because even the thing you used to say out of pocket, I'm a teacher deep down. I'm an artist, but I'm a teacher. When we don't allow people to make mistakes, I have a problem with that. Because I'm like, first of all, allow him to finish his mistake. Whatever you're calling a mistake, allow someone to finish it. If it's not bringing other problems, because, we're in Rwanda again. There's problems with ideology or whatever. If someone is not bringing up a subject that's going to get people to kill each other or hurt each other, and it's just a point of view you have, or maybe, I don't like coffee, I like pineapple. And everyone is screaming, and I'm like, you could relax and let him finish, and then you ask your questions. So I don't know. I never, you know this. I never had a problem with how you speak or the way.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I've noticed the people. I'm just trying to be very careful with my words. Not careful, but like trying to be very thoughtful. Yeah. Right. What I noticed is the people who had the least problems, or like a lot of people either in my social circle or who have the similar background like me or like us, where we're. I'm not trying to say this in a mean way, but we're a bit more exposed. Whether we grew up outside, lived outside, or grew up around lots of foreigners, them, they didn't think I was out of pocket. But then people who weren't as much, they took it as out of pocket. And even me saying this is going to trigger them. I know this for a fact, right? Like, I'll tell you after this episode, some interesting things, right?
2-3 things, yes.
Yeah. But like, before we get into who you are and how you got this in the topic of the conversation, my most important question always in every episode, what have you been watching, Mr. Anderson?
Yes. Okay, so every morning I'm getting too excited to open my Instagram and see if Train of Thoughts posted. So his actual name is a bit scary for me to say because I don't want to say it wrong. It's either Hertz Fauzan. I'll send it to you. I'll post it.
Which country is he from?
I think he's Nigerian.
Okay, yeah.
And Joe, you're talking about you've tried 3 podcasts and you failed. He's talking about I did a deal with the government and I was going to take on this football thing and it failed. And the money was signed, millions of money. And he's like, you're not crazy. Some things just don't work and you have to keep trying and trying. And every time when I'm listening to him, I have goosebumps. I'm commenting all the time, please visit Rwanda. Please visit Rwanda. Please visit Rwanda, please.
We'll get the amazing team behind the scenes to put a picture of his podcast.
Yes. Train of Thoughts. So he wakes up, he starts with a thought, and then he tells you how he thinks about it, but he creates a space where you can think about it differently. So the comments are crazy good. He can say some things and everyone is like, you're out of pocket. And he's like, elaborate. What is your point of view on it? And sometimes the people are like really saying like good stuff. And I'm like, my brain didn't go there. So Fauzan is doing a good job, Train of Thoughts. Oh, and I have to say, because we're in Women's Month, and you're having different women on the podcast, there's Diary of a Niger Girl. She's a bit more grown up.
I feel like I've heard of it, but maybe I've seen it, but...
It looks really good.
Well, what did they talk... What are like the...
She talks about women and things we face, but in a different, fun way. Like she can say, do you want to get... Maybe you're turning 30 and you want to make money. These are the 5 businesses you can do as a woman. Like let's say you have a closet filled with clothes that you don't wear because different reasons. You can open Instagram. She says like big stuff and makes them really small.
Oh, she makes it sound achievable, not
very, very achievable.
You need a $1 million loan from your rich dad.
She never talks like that. Never. She's like, what you have, use what you have.
Is she born and raised Nigerian, or is she like British Nigerian or like American Nigerian?
That's a good question. We would have to check.
What does her accent give? Proper pidgin?
For me, no, she never says pidgin. But she reminds me of me. When I'm watching her, because people think I've traveled because of how I speak. I'm born and raised in Rwanda. Only went in Europe for the first time when I was 25. Almost about to turn 26. So I'm a proper product of this country. I was lucky enough to go to La Colombière, to go to Apapec, to study at Glory. So these are schools where the parents had put so much effort and money into building like really good schools, regardless of where they were coming from. So as much as people think I'm exposed, and then I speak French, and they're like, "Oh my God, you cannot be born and raised here." I'm like, no, there are some of us that are born and raised here, but we were privileged enough to go to really, really good environments and schools.
That's very interesting. And it's just podcast for now that's been on your mind?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes, I haven't watched the movie. I'm trying to watch the Bato after the one with Tiana Taylor.
Oh, yeah, yes.
I'm struggling to watch that one. Kiki Palmer, amazing podcast. She has a Kiki Palmer, their podcast. I'm not gonna lie. I'm watching podcasts because that's currently what I'm struggling with, or what I'm building. So currently, I only got podcasts.
No, it's all right. The way I always do is just like to share things I like.
Yeah.
So for me right now, it's mostly the normal shows, but the big thing for me right now is I've gotten back into audiobooks.
Audiobooks. Oh my God, that's good.
So if I'm like gymming or doing something,
Yeah.
I'm either listening to a podcast, audiobook, or music. And I switch between. So example, for a whole month I'll listen to nothing but music at the gym.
Yes.
Then get bored of it and switch to podcast for a whole month and then go back to audiobooks. Now I started this new one called Red Rising.
Red Rising.
It's based like 100 years in the future. Humans are on the different planets in the solar system. But what makes this audiobook so good is that they put background music. So if the character is walking through a forest, you hear him step on a twig, you see the birds chirping. If there's a fight scene, you hear like metal hitting metal, right? Whenever there's something, if he's
in the back.
oh my God, like I am like so like, in the morning I woke up, I couldn't find something to watch while I was getting ready. I just put it on. I'm going to the gym, I'm like, I'm tired of music, I just put that on. I have like 30 minutes, I put that on. When I go into bed, oh God, it's so, because it immerses you in the story. You feel like you're there. Yeah. You're always listening, right? So example, like a big problem, because I love audiobooks, I haven't read in physical book in a long time.
I actually have, yes.
Is that sometimes an audiobook is made and broken by the voice actor?
Yes,
So
100%.
The last 5 audiobooks I've listened to, they have all amazing voice actors. It's like the previous one I was listening to, it was the voice actor can do very good women.
Yes.
He could do British, he could do Irish, he could do like a Spanish, he could do a Latino accent, everything. But this one, it's one guy and I think 2 or 3 other supporting casts, but mainly one guy, proper production, and I'm just like, this is so amazing. I'm in it.
I love that.
Okay,
wait,
now,
where do you watch it from? Do you use Kindle so that we know how to
no, I
find it?
pirate it. I'm not going to pay Amazon Audible. It's $14 a month.
It is?
Yes,
I've never
and $14 is only one book. The thing is,
don't judge us. You don't understand how much we make per month. Continue.
But like with the Audible, like the thing is that really frustrates me. It's like, bro, dude, if you made it $50 a month and an unlimited audio, I would use that every time.
I would too. They need to do okay, let me shut up. Because I was gonna say they need to do the Spotify thing, and I just remember they pay us like shitty money, 0.00003. So no, maybe not.
Yeah, with books I think
Maybe
it's a bit
not.
different because of like the rights and distribution and all that.
Do you know I want to work on that?
What?
I want to buy. There's a publishing house I love so much. I want to buy.
Here in Rwanda?
Yeah, it used to be called Bakame, and it had to close because of different reasons. I want to buy that venture and do that. And instead of having physical copies, create a platform where Rwandans can afford paying that
Online
little money,
subscription,
and the kids can watch and listen.
That's amazing. Hopefully, maybe an investor is out there listening.
Hi,
I'm
Bakame.
I'm getting a
Please sell
5%
me.
commission. Just saying.
You know, because
But-
sometimes you have to ask for things.
Yes.
Sometimes you just have to ask for things.
So now, before we get into the topic,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
please introduce yourself.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to stipulate this. Her name is Anderson, but I
Yes.
like to call her Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Because whenever I hear it, I think of Mr. Smith in
let's
wow,
remember.
we're having a brain. The Matrix.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Matrix.
Mr. Anderson. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Mr. Anderson is a woman who likes to play around a lot. I love. I'm an artist, meaning I sing and I do theater, I do business. And any idea that pops into my mind or when a friend tells me something they want, I have to make it happen. by fire or by force with zero funding. We have to make it happen. And I'm excited about the new era we're getting in, where finally, hopefully, we will have grants and funding.
Yes, we're going to get into a bit more about later in the episode, but yeah.
Yes, that's what I hope. Because, for example, when you came for the episodes, I was still in the experimenting phase of mine. I didn't know how my episode is gonna look like. I was really struggling. But then when you said, I've been trying to do a podcast, and you even had a name, I was like, okay, how do we make that happen? And I was like, I am not in a position where I should be helping anyone with creating a podcast when I haven't even posted my first episode.
I'm realizing, like, the more I talk to you, the perfect, like, niche that you occupy is a fixer. I have another friend who's also a woman like you, is a fixer. But I think your unique position is in the creative and events space. Because the way I look at it is, in Rwanda, you have the big boys, the big companies, whatever their name, doesn't matter what their names are. And then you have the small people, like, and I see you occupying a middle space where if I or someone else comes to you and says, yo, I want to do a show, I want to do this.
How do we make that
You can connect them, whether it's the big boys or the small guys, and vice versa. And it's like, I think that actually should be your thing. Like, by the way, guys, like, if you need something done in the events or creative space, hit up Mr. Anderson. I'll have the amazing guys behind the camera put her Instagram down here.
And you have to pay, because I'm done doing things for free. We're broke.
I am done doing things for free. Now I have enough
we've
experience.
done enough experience. We've done enough experimenting. Come on, 3 podcasts. You've done 3 podcasts. So please, sponsors, brands, pull up. He's shown you that,
with the brand and sponsorship is, to be honest with you, I haven't really put effort into it, just because I view it as experimenting, where I want to put out at least 10 to 12 episodes.
I like that.
Where I figured out the formula, and then hopefully maybe in the next month or 2 I find a permanent female co-host. And then I go into, like, putting my back into getting sponsorships. Right now, it's more about figuring out the formula, see what works, whether it's with you, with another guest. I'm just experimenting.
And
I'm willing to lose money for 3-4 months to find the perfect formula.
Yeah, but you haven't been losing money for 3-4 months. Now it's more than a year.
No. This is the second month because of this podcast. The other ones, the other ones I don't
you
really
don't count them.
Yeah.
Those are other experiments, though.
Those are other experiments that laid the foundation for this one.
Oh, and we have to say, it's not because you're having an issue with Amanda. It's because Amanda is...
Oh, yeah, don't worry. We talked about that in the end of the last one.
Yes, I'm so excited about meeting the baby.
First of all, the fact that she's pregnant,
she's
doing
a
her
mama.
master's degree, is working, and then has an NGO for mental health is fucking amazing.
She's a mama who, but that part, I don't know. I'm gonna start therapy because of that. Why do we do 7-8 things at the same? Women in this country, we don't know how to do one thing.
That's the thing. Like, we'll talk about this later, but also I've told you this before. Working on other projects, I've noticed the hardest working people are women. And it's not that the men are not hardworking. It's that the men who are hardworking, either one, are already in government, like high-ranking positions.
True.
They're either in the military, or 3, they're in the private sector, right? So I find that it's easier to find hardworking women than it is to find hardworking men. Because the men have already gone to that station, or they wild where they are need to be, or they're siloed. But then women, it's like you'll run into so many women on so many projects where it's like, wow, you are really smart. Like, I had no idea. But let's get into the main topic of today. It's artists and the lack of support that they have.
Yes.
And the first part, I think, is the professionalism. We've talked about this so many times where
yes.
lack of professionalism just from, like, the manager side. So, like, we know artists who are great, but they don't have the proper professional manager. And then we also know artists who are great and do have managers, right? The big guys like
Bruce Melody, the band. Well, yes, people,
Yeah, they're the big guys because they have proper management behind them or partners. I forget their names. It's horrible.
There is Coach Gael.
Respect to him.
Others are actually, I don't know names. Oh, but there's also Clement who had a record label, who has a record label, Kina Music. Yeah, we have them. We have them here and there. There are few, but we have them.
Right, and so very few. Actually, the first thing is we need to add why we're talking about this specifically in relation to Doja Cat.
Yes.
Shensia. And then you trying to help Angel Mutoni with her... Just give a little background story on that.
So the thing is, I saw Doja Cat coming in Kigali, and right away I put on the camera, and it wasn't even camera. I think it was a phone. Tripod, a phone. I found a studio, tripod, a phone, sound, and I was like, I really hope whoever is whoevering is thinking of Angel Mutoni as opening act, because when Kendrick Lamar came, we didn't have Kenny K Shot. We didn't have any rappers on stage. So when Kenny K Shot spoke up on Twitter, nothing was done, and the here and there that were being said, it was like Global Citizen is not about music, it's about helping people, it's about fighting poverty and all of that. And I was like, you cannot use music and not start by helping musicians and not start by pushing musicians. And they were like, no, it's too late. It's too late. He wrote it 3-4 days before the event. We cannot change the lineup and everything. And I was like, but then we got a meet and greet with Kendrick Lamar, breathtaking. I hugged the man. You need to understand, I hugged the man, listened to the man, stayed with the man in the room for more than an hour. So
I was working that day, and I was so pissed that I just didn't lie and say I'm sick.
But I would not have been able to get you in because they called me at 1, or Sema Sole called me like 1. He was like, we're meeting Kendrick Lamar at 3. So I was in the office in Bakame working because I was still their secretary. I was their general secretary. So I'm working, and then I'm like, I'm not missing Kendrick for a job. I could get fired, I don't care. So it was such an unrealistic timeline, which we got to know. So I wasn't even able to pull in more artists. We were very few. We're less than 20 or less. It was only me and Angel in the room, women. Plus, I'm not a rapper. And I was like, someone else should have been here. But everyone was like, no, you're part of rap. You're pushing rap. You're always with us and all that. So Kendrick Lamar, we have no rappers on stage. But we are very satisfied about the meet and greet. So then the next time we're going to be ready for the next artist who comes. Global Citizens has created Move Africa, because Move Africa is created by the PNG, the thing of Kendrick Lamar. I think this is the Reb label and Global Citizens. It's a new thing that they created, Move Africa. So we are aware that Move Africa is going to be coming more in Rwanda and other countries in Africa. But how do we now make sure that mistake doesn't happen? Now I see John Legend. I'm like, oh, I don't have to fight because he's not a rapper. So we're not going to face any issues. That was such a big mistake. So there's no meet and greet with him. Because they say the meet and greet is going to happen way too late, that when they start calling artists, they're like, hey, so you expect us to show up in like an hour or 2 hours. You have to create these things before and let us know before if there's going to be a meet and greet. Women, we have to do our makeup. We have to do our hair. When I met Kendrick, I had the worst hair. Oh my God. I was like, at least he's a black man, so he understands where women will have...
But the thing is, it's not just women, but it's just like, dude, if you have an amazing opportunity like that, you want to put on your best clothes, your best shoes. You're gonna send someone, yo, dude, go clean them. You may even call a friend like, yo, I need to borrow that shirt right now.
Because you're an artist. You have to look a certain type of way.
Yeah.
You know? But then, which also feels disrespectful, so then they start getting pissed that the artists are not showing up. And then people meet him in the hallway and they're taking pictures with John Legend when he's about to step on stage. And these people, they don't even hide the pictures. And I'm like, listen, first off, respect local Rwandan artists. Because you shouldn't tell them that day that they are having a meet and greet. Second, respect the artist who's about to step on stage. Why are you guys bothering John Legend when he's about to step on stage? It takes everything. You need all the quietness and solitude you can get before you step on stage. He needs to be protected by both us, the Rwandans, and his team. So create a proper meet and greet at least 3 hours before so he can go back, shower, and get ready. And then create a space where he can actually interact with the artist in a very beautiful, flowing way. There is serious disrespect that we experience as Rwandan artists. Where you almost feel like it's when, the guest is coming and then they start telling kids, go to your room, shut up, don't say hi, go to your room. It feels that way. And I was like, because when we met Kendrick, there's a whole speech before, don't say this, don't do that, you're only allowed to ask him 5 questions. And the room was filled with that.
Yeah, it feels like they're treating you like kids instead of the adults you are. You worked hard. Like all these rappers, I'm willing to bet money. They already, when they were told they're going to make Kendrick, they knew what questions they're going to ask.
And let me tell you,
if Joe Rogan's coming, you don't think I know the questions I'm going to ask him?
You've been working in this field. You understand everything. And let me tell you, they killed it. They asked him proper good questions. Sema Sole asked, so I have an issue. Sometimes when I'm singing or writing, they say I sound like you. How do I fix it? How do I find my own voice? And Kendrick is like, you actually don't fix nothing? When I started, people said I sounded like Jay-Z. I sounded like Nas, So then kid from Kigali stands up, asks him another question. Kenny K-Shot is like, I named myself K-Shot because of you. I didn't know nothing about Kendrick. So he started saying K dot and K something and then the Compton. And I was like, whoa, this kid's from. But so the artist, Kendrick Lamar, had to be the one who gave us respect, who gave us our pride back. And I was like, he shouldn't have had to do all that work.
And I think the crucial part is first of all, it's because Kendrick is the kind of person who gives up back to the community. It's why people love Kendrick. It's why they love J. Cole, right? It's these grassroots people who don't forget what they are versus Drake, where we all know if Drake came to Rwanda, he would not be doing a meet and greet unless he was forced to by like his superiors.
Or our people when they put it in the contract.
Put it in a contract, right?
Yeah.
He would be like, oh, whatever, I'm here to do and whatever. And just because Kendrick does that.
And then you said something on the Shansia thing. This is, again, still on this disrespect. See, Shansia comes here, fills up the BK Arena, she goes. She doesn't interact or have a collab with any artist, any Rwandan artist. But then she meets Baraka here.
Joshua Baraka.
They go to Uganda, they make a remix. This remix is killing it everywhere. So I'm like, explain something to me, which is we go back to the management thing. How come Shansia is here? But no management, no corporate structure, whatever that needs to be happening that makes thought of Shansia could do an amazing collab with anyone. Doesn't even have to be dancehall, doesn't even have to be reggae. She can do something with Ish Kevin. She can do something with
actually, I think
Angel Mutoni.
Like, okay, I don't listen to that many Kenya trap songs, but whenever I listen to Ish Kevin, that goes slaps. I don't understand what he's saying, but I'm just like, yo, this song goes hard.
And let me tell you, the things he say. I think I'm gonna start translating his songs so that here is Kiranda, but he's what he's actually saying because he's hardcore.
Dude, I just like I think it's this thing of like it doesn't matter what language you speak. Vibe recognizes vibe. I remember in Japan when like AC/DC or like these old school 80s rock bands would come, the VIP tickets would be sold within 72 hours. Because it's vibes.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't have to
energy.
speak.
Sarkodie, we all listen to Sarkodie. Do we know what he's saying?
No.
Nobody knows what he's saying, but we're like, you know what? We like him. So the same thing. So Shansia ends up doing an amazing remix with Joshua Baraka. And every time when I'm saying, people are like, no, it's because Joshua Baraka does the dance hall or whatever the genre is. It's because they do the same thing. And I'm like, no. Imagine a proper fusion of, let's say, let me push it, Ruti Joel and Shansia. So Ruti does the whole, let's say, a hook or whatever, and then Shansia does the verses. We are artists. We know how amazing we would make that sound. But that didn't happen because here they are hiding artists. They are putting us in the back as if we're kids that need to go be hidden somewhere.
Yep. And the problem that is like she could have done anyone, whether it's Ish Kevin, Angel Mutoni.
Yes.
If I'm forgetting any other rappers, it's just
we love you. Please understand, we love you.
So it goes back to this management thing where, example, like with Angel, I know her manager. He's very professional.
Yes.
He works very hard.
Yes.
By the way, Tricky, you work very hard, my man. Angel, we have to get you on the podcast.
Yes.
But he works very hard. But then when I look at other artists, they don't have proper management, right? Someone who go to bat for them. And that's the thing about being a manager. You have to go to be able to bat. Because the thing is, when I heard Shansia is coming, like we're talking about music, my first thought is, if I'm a manager, who do I hit up? Who do I bribe, threaten, and cajole to make sure my artist gets 10 minutes with her?
Yeah.
Right? That's the normal thing. That's the professionalism on the manager side.
Yes.
But then also the professionalism, I think, also extends to artists where this is not all artists again.
Yes.
This is a generalization.
You so much.
But it's like you also have to be willing to put in the work.
Yes.
Right? You have to be saying, if I need to spend the next 2 weeks in the studio 24/7 doing nothing else but writing and recording music, I have to do that.
Yeah. But I used to worry about that, but I don't worry about it anymore. Because when I'm looking at, let's look at what we have. For example, we have KFK. That guy doesn't know how to sleep.
Who?
KFK, kid from Kigali.
Oh, kid from Kigali. Okay.
Kid from Kigali doesn't know how to sleep. Like every time when I'm looking at him, I'm like, at some point you're gonna have a seizure. So we have him who's working nonstop. We have Ruti Joel. So what you're talking about is we need to focus on also creating ready to tour artists. That's why I created the Anderson Experience, is because I saw it and I was like, you know what? We need to see who are the artists that are actually ready to tour. And I'm not the only one who's doing this. There's other friends called Agura Group where they pushed Ruti Joel. He finished his album, Musumandera. They filled up Inhare Arena and all of that. So I'm like, this, of course, we need to create a system that doesn't stop, that keeps creating ready-to-tour artists. But let's look at the artists that can actually tour. Do they have management? Ruti Joel does. kid from Kigali we have to check because I feel like he's by himself a bit like me. But then these ready to tour artists, they're only 5. Let's say they're only 5. We only have 5 artists that can perform for an hour and a half non-stop. We do have. Ish Kevin is ready. Ruti Joel is ready. Andrew Mutoni, in my opinion, is ready. This is why I keep talking about her. Let's say we have 5. These 5 artists have management. This management is pushing. I've met them. From Tricky to Kevin Algura to these guys, when they go to talk to the people, those people that people keep telling me, why are you not talking to those Move Africa people instead and you're going on camera? If these people are disrespecting you and want to hide you in the back, of course they're not going to make the thing happen. So management is actually approaching these people. I do have receipts. Whatever you hear come out of my mouth, I have receipts. These people are talking to them and then they're disrespecting them. No, you see, why are you making this a big deal? You're always victims. You're always crying. And I'm like, okay, talk to me. So are they asking for money and we don't know that they're asking for some little bit of bribe? Because we're artists. We're like, whatever that makes this thing happen, we're going to do it.
Yeah, it's that thing of like, forget the legality of it. It's like when you need to get something accomplished and you're possessed by it, you will do anything and everything to get it done.
And then it's not. They don't care about the bribe. Again, what I say, I've seen receipts. They're like, we don't want the money. The money is not the issue. But then when they do want to move, it's too late. Because that's another thing that people don't understand with the creative industry and whatever. When you say meet and greet in 2 hours, that's dead.
Yeah.
Today, me and you are recording on the 5th of March. There is still no lineup for Global Citizens.
What?
We don't have the lineup. We don't know who's performing on the Global Citizens.
So is that on, let's go get a little bit sidetracked.
Yeah.
Is the lineup, is it being made by Move Africa in conjunction with the local, I don't know who is in charge?
That's the issue. We have no idea. And when I tell you, I'm asking everyone. And everyone is saying something and say, did you ask this one? Because people are aware, I've talked about it. So people are trying to do their best to help me. By people, I mean the audience. So the audience is like, did you talk to? And I'm like, I write to Angel. Has anyone approached you yet? We're on the 5th of March. No one has approached her.
When is the concert? Is it the 17th?
17th.
17th,
That's
right?
less than 12 weeks. It takes us at
days.
least a month to prepare for everything, meaning sound. What is it going to be like sound-wise? Are you going to have a full band? Are you not going to have a full band? You've been through what I'm explaining.
Yeah.
Finding the rooms where you're going to rehearse is a problem. Getting the band together is a problem. Those things take time. You cannot just tell someone in less than 3 days to pull up on stage. That's why music always sounds like shit on stage.
Yeah, that is very true. That goes on to the next part about this thing about the lack of institutional support.
Yeah.
Is people who are not in creative spaces don't understand the creative method, what's required, right?
Yes.
What I've learned working with creatives is you have to give them the tools and the breathing space. So like with the team I work with behind, I'm always like, okay, realistically, how long do you think this will take to edit?
Yes.
And they'll tell me 2-3 days. And I tell them, look, this is my philosophy in life. If I know I need to do something, it's going to take me 2 days.
Yeah.
I will tell the person 3-4 days. So I can
Yes.
spend the last day double checking my work, right? Now
There you're back to professionalism. Yes.
double checking my work, right?
Yes.
So when I tell the team behind the scenes, they do an amazing job, by the way. I say,
They
hey,
really do. It's a bit scary.
They tell me
They were
3
so
days,
point, yeah.
and they know what I want. They know what I need.
Yeah.
When there's a problem, they'll clearly communicate it to me. Hey, we're having a problem with the internet. We're having a problem with processing, whatever. So most people don't understand. You can't just hit up Angel, Mike Kahuda, any of these artists and say, we need you to perform tomorrow. No.
Yeah.
They need to prepare.
Yeah.
They need the proper equipment. They need all these things.
Sound
And on top of
engineering
that,
so much.
let's say example right now, Angel was approached to do the thing and
Yes.
everything. Where's she going to get the support for the band? Because they need to get paid.
Yes.
Where's she going to get a place to practice? Because they need to get paid.
Yes.
What about the choreography? She's going to have dancers behind her. They
Yes.
need to get paid.
Yes.
Is there going to be someone who's going to be in charge of doing the actual event? I don't know, event coordinator,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They
yes.
need to get paid.
Yes.
Is there going to be sponsors? And is there any conflict there? They're doing the
Yes.
paying,
Yes.
right? So you do all these things. It's not that Angel can't do it or any of these artists can't do it. It's because, for her to get a band, she has to pay.
There's a whole structure. Like it's so much paying and so much rehearsing and so much sitting down and contracts being revised. And I'm like, we make it look so easy and we
But
make
it's
it look
not.
so fun that people think it's just That's why I have a problem with sometimes things being called entertainment. Because people sit and be like, entertain me right now. And I'm like, no. I go on radio, TV, and they like sing, and I'm like,
That is very, very true. People think it's easy. Like, even like my experience with doing podcasts is before you come on, I do research. I have a tablet here with all the topics we're going to talk about so I can keep a track because I have ADHD.
you know?
Right?
And you need to talk to the guys. They need to get the camera ready. They need to get the room ready. They need to... It's a lot.
And not only that, but then example with my experience with the past podcast is what I learned is me and you was before this we're in a coffee shop talking and we got into the flow. Me and you, it's very easy to get into the flow of conversation.
Yes.
With other people, I'll have to sit with them an hour or two.
Yes.
When we get into flow, that's when we come up, we start, and then everything's going. Right? They don't realize the amount of work I'm doing behind the scenes. Oh, they don't realize the amount
They
of work.
don't. I know, they don't.
Right? So this professionalism thing is on the managerial side, there's lack of proper managers.
Yes.
And if they are there, they already have the people they're working with. Whether it's Tricky, whether it's Coach Gael, whether it's with the Clement guy you mentioned.
Yes.
I had no idea about who till today.
Clement, amazing. Kina Music.
Right?
Amazing.
It's not just them needing to be there, but there's the whole infrastructure, the support system.
Yes.
Which I think that's the last part of the whole conversation. But the next part is, I think, the lack of social support.
Yes.
And here's by what I mean.
Yeah.
When you're doing something, whether both of us have experienced this and everyone else, like when you're starting a business, you may make a post on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and a lot of people won't post it.
Yeah.
And the ones who do post it won't show up to like buy your products. Now, of course, if you're an entrepreneur or you're creative and you're making something, if it's not up to par and people aren't supporting it, take that as feedback and repeat it.
Of course.
You shouldn't just get blind support from your friends.
Of course.
But if it's good, they will share it. Both of us are very fortunate that we have friends and family that when we do something, they will support. My mom leaves a comment on all my YouTube videos. Shout out, mom, by the way. Leaves a comment on my YouTube videos. Yeah. She shares it with her friends. She'll hit me up, be like, "Oh, I shared my podcast with your friend. They love it. That's amazing, right?" But with a lot of people, what happens, what I've noticed is that they don't support you until you've gotten to that place where everyone knows that, oh, Anderson is the best artist in Kigali. She had an amazing record. That's when people are like, oh, yo, that's my cousin. You know the classic one, right? Every time a Rwandese outside of Rwanda joins the NBA,
All
NFL, where they're like, hey, that's my cousin. Me and him grew up in the village. He was over the hill next to me. Like, bro.
Relax.
Why
you never talked to him about him before? Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like people don't support you until you've made it.
Yes.
Don't fully support you until you made it. And then the other thing is not just social, but then it's also like, with the Joe the Drummer podcast, you're willing to reach out to people and help negotiate prices for them, right?
Yes.
If you need help with something like with this one, I told you what was happening. I was like, no, come on the show for sure, right? I know with friends, I can hit them up and ask them, hey, can you connect me with this person? And they will, right? And I'll do the same for them. But a lot of people are in a space where they're just starting. They've already gotten a couple wins. They're already gaining traction, but no one is willing to go out and bat for them. And go behind the scenes and
because that's where the work is. Yeah,
where it's behind the scenes.
It's the behind the scenes. That's where the work is. So I know what you're saying is, for example, what I'm wearing is my mom. She bought this. This is my best friend. He's a guy who bought them for me in Australia. This is my best friend Kelly, because the work is behind. What you're seeing on camera is like the easy part. This is the easy part. We enjoy talking, but it's so much work.
Yep.
And you're just one human being.
Yep. And
you know?
The lack of social support, I think, is really important. And also the fact that what you're saying that people don't understand the work is that I always find it funny. People are always like, oh my God, you're just another man with a podcast. And it's like, they don't see the work you just do as like on a regular basis. But like, the reason I'm able to conversate is because I practice this shit.
Yes.
The reason I'm funny is because I had insecurities. So in order to get people to like me, I learned how to be funny.
And actually how to be social, how to read the body language, read the cues.
Right?
Yeah.
Me and you could talk about art because like there was a time I was heavy into rap music. Yes. Like I would literally pick, not just rap music, any music. I would pick an artist. I would look for their 5 best albums and go listen. Whether it was rap, rock and roll, a little bit of country, a little bit of soul. Right? So I've done all these things. So I can sit here and talk for days out of my ass.
But also on the I feel like in music though we've romanticized, which it worries me sometimes. We romanticize the struggle of starting with And all of us have that mistake. There is amazing La Russo who says, I used to fill up this. He makes songs specifically saying these things. I used to do the music in my back room of my house, only me and my family. And now, and now I'm filling up arenas. Same thing with Burna Boy. When he started touring, he was like, so when it comes to music, we've romanticized a bit that struggle.
Yes.
And I have a problem with that because I'm like, okay, nice. Yeah, but why do we always have to struggle on things that actually shouldn't be struggles?
I think it's multiple things. I think anything you do in life, you're always going to struggle. The romanticization of struggle.
Yeah.
I've seen it in whether it's like with stand-up comedy because I love comedy, whether it's with football, basketball players. Even though I'm not a big sports guy,
Me neither.
whether it's entrepreneurs, of course there is an element you do have to struggle. You have to figure
But have a
it
nice
out.
struggle because there's nice struggles. There is the struggle of figuring out how to deal with a mic, how to deal with a team. That's a struggle I'm up for, you know. But the struggle of you just did a podcast, you just put it on, and there's 0 comments. I don't like that struggle.
It's
Because
not
I'm like, it's not even just struggle, it's lack of support. I'm like, so you guys are gonna start screaming his name when they see that BK, because it just happened to me. Let me give a specific example. I've been talking about, I got receipts. I'm a woman of receipts. I was talking about Mutoni, Angel Mutoni, and people, instead of actually telling me things in the comments, they would come in the DMs or ask me on the side, like, okay, what happens if she doesn't get picked? What happens? What are you gonna do? You know? And sometimes in a nice, gentle way where they're worried about me, and some other times like they're picking on me. Open my Instagram. I did Le Miroir before, like 3 weeks before the BK creative thing.
Can you explain what Le Mer?
Le Miroir. Le Miroir is a TV show that's in French that's been happening on RTV by David Carmel for a while. It's amazing. We just celebrated 10 years. It's been running for 10 years. So I went on Le Miroir because I'm working with him. We're trying to. I really wanted him to celebrate the 10 years, and I was like, we're not going to let this go. I'm not going to let it go. How do I help you that we celebrate 10 years properly? In doing that, we sit down. We're like, okay, who was the first guests? We see Dorian. By some luck, Dorian was in Rwanda. She normally lives in Canada. All of a sudden, she was in Rwanda. I saw in the and I wrote him, she's in Rwanda. Text her right now. This and this and this. While I'm working on pushing for Angela Mutoni to be on the lineup, at the same time I'm pushing that we celebrate the 10 years. My comments are normal in the pushing Angela Mutoni. People are posting on their story, but that's it. Then, in Le Miroir, the amazing Sandrine, who is now in charge of Moya, there's a bigger what they say for her in front of me. She's not the minister. There's the minister and then there's her.
State minister.
You know, and they're saying it, and I'm like, they say it in French, and it's a very long word, and I'm like, but she's amazing, Sandrine Mutoni. So Sandrine Mutoni comes on Le Miroir, and then, because I'm working with David, I ask people, which question do you want me to ask her? Like, what would you ask me that I can ask her? And then everyone will always ask me this question, how do you make money? How do you make money? How do I make a living? So then I'm like, okay, the question should be, if you're a woman in Rwanda, is it possible that you can make a living out of creative? So I asked that question because I've been asked that question like 1,000,000 times. So David posted on Instagram and he collaborates with me. It's the most viewed. I had posted 20 other videos talking about let's put Angel Mutoni on stage, let's have a female band on stage. I'm pushing for like 20. Really, if I'm exaggerating, let's reduce. I had put 5 videos. The one where I'm talking to the minister is peaking. I pinned it. It's peaking. It's about to get 20K. The other ones have like 1,000 and 200. And people are watching. So I'm like, wait, so I'm getting recognition because I'm talking to Sandrine, but no one is pushing when I'm talking about let's put Angel Mutoni on stage. How is that? And then everyone is like, oh my God, Anderson, you asked such a good question. And I'm like, I've
been doing this for
I did. I'm like, wait, I've been asked this question my whole entire life. I've responded to this question on TV more than once. I want you to push Angel Mutoni being put on stage. I want you to push putting a female band on stage. I want you to push this other thing. This is the what? But also, there are rules. There are rules about life.
You know
we want
what-
to sell what they are buying, so I'll keep talking to
Yeah,
the minister.
it was
I
to
guess.
sell what they're buying, because what I've noticed with the audience, particularly in Rwanda, and I think this all applies to other countries as well, is at least from my experience, right? I know people always get pissy in the comments, but like
We're not a good combination, by the way.
oh yeah, it would cause too much chaos.
Yeah.
With the previous podcasts, the most famous ones were, like, for lack of a better word, controversial. To me, they're not controversial, right?
me
Like
neither.
the thing is saying about like there's nothing to do better in Kigali aside from drinking.
Oh,
You know how many people DM me on the side saying thank you for talking about that?
I love that one. Yeah, yeah.
And to me, it's not controversial because it's like the people in my social circle and everyone I know is like, they know it's true. It's only quote unquote controversial because I had the balls to say it. And here in Rwanda, again, people are going to get pissy, but it's like people really love drama. That's why you see, you know, that sit down interview where they're gossiping about someone. Like, I don't understand here in Rwanda. People will come from me in the
It's a
comments.
good thing. You're blessed because it's really bad.
I see that and it's like, come on, is this the best we can do? And the reason I say it's the best we can do is I know creative people like you. I know so many creative people, right? Doesn't forget their names. Where if they just had a little bit of support, just had like however much money it is to produce a couple of episodes, whatever, they can make a genuinely amazing content. But then we're lower to the standard where drama is the most interesting thing. But at the same time, it's the same everywhere, right?
Yes,
Perfect
love and
example.
hip hop. Yes.
Cat Williams when he went on the Shay Shay podcast.
Yes.
I watched that thing so much. I won't lie. I was like, God, this is juicy.
Yeah.
I won't lie, right?
Yeah.
So it's like people, of course, are going to naturally attach themselves to drama.
Can I say something on that one? I don't think it's a problem. The Cat Williams is a bit different with what's happening here. That's what I mean. You're lucky that you don't listen here, Kinyarwanda. The Cat William thing, I didn't have a problem with it because it's no different from what me and Joe are doing right now. We're calling out, this is a problem. He was calling out, this is a problem. It's very different from me going on a YouTube something and saying, you know, Joe ain't shit. Why is Joe ain't shit? Because his family did this and this and this, and all of this is because he's this and this and this and this, and that's what sometimes Rwandan YouTubers do.
You know what you just said right there? I've seen people think the same thing. I've learned. I'm like,
I'm like, do not talk about other people's families.
Just that, but then it's like they don't. They'll see the success you're getting and they'll attribute it to family. I'm like, bruh, you have no idea.
Let me tell you something. The part I don't understand on that one is, so what? I want to create more privilege. Yeah. I'm like, please tell me you didn't have to go through the struggle and you had some money and you were well educated and you built some more. Because this thing where people bully each other because you come from a rich family, anyway, let's stay on track.
Yeah.
So the thing is different from the Cat Williams and love and hip hop. These are two different things. Because love and hip hop is not about we're trying to do something better, we're calling out things that were done wrong. No,
it's drama.
Love and hip hop is just pure drama. They're just sitting next to each other. Why are you looking at me? I've seen fights like that.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me? I'm not looking at you. And they fight, and I'm like, wait. They're fighting about who looked at who.
Ratchet shit.
Yeah, so I've that one I've even experienced. I've had to sit down with my family, and they're like, "You're so good on TV. You're so good on camera. You should be a journalist. You should be this." And I'm like, actually, that's a bit hard because it's dying. Media on TV for me is dying.
Oh, by the way, next episode we're going to be talking about this with a different co-host. I mean guest. So tune into that.
Yes. Oh, yes. I know who you're talking about. Yes, you should. So it's a bit dying. So I was like, the thing that's working is YouTube and social media. But then I'm watching what Rwanda is buying on YouTube and social media, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching that. I don't do drama. I'm like, who looked at who because you were who and talked to who? I don't know how to do that.
It's okay. Yeah, there's one aspect will always be the market and what the market wants. People will always like drama, right? That's why Love and Hip Hop, The Real Housewives of LA, Kim Kardashian, all that jazz.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is lack of proper example, right? Our mutual friend Hakeem, the director. You're telling me if we gave him, let's say, $100,000 for a whole year to create a show. 30 minutes, goes on YouTube. He gets script writers, he gets directors, everything he needs.
Yeah.
You're telling me he couldn't create something that would destroy 90% of that stuff. I think honestly he could, whether it's him or someone else, right?
So it's the world is always revolving. It's a now thing. If he did it in 2020, no one would be watching. If he does it now, remember the first question you asked me, what are we watching right now? At some point, people only wanted to watch Kim Kardashian. The friend I just talked about, Le Miroir, he's called David Carmel. He has the best show in French. No one was watching it for many years now.
Here in Rwanda, right?
Here in Rwanda. And people were like, well, it's because
Has he
it's
gone
in
on
French.
YouTube?
It is on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm going to send you his thing. It is on YouTube. And every artist who's going to release a song, we would always go there because we respect what he represents. We respect the type of question, the platform he's built. We respect it. But then no one was watching.
Can you please connect me to him afterwards? I want to fix that. Because I really, like, this is something that really drives me, is I want to make high quality. Again, I don't really watch, like, people get surprised when I tell them this. I don't really watch that much Chinese content. Because for me, it's like, if it comes up on my feed, I will watch it.
Yes.
If it doesn't, I won't. Right?
I know what you mean because he's on TV and we don't watch TV anymore. No one is clicking on TV. But what I mean by that is at some point in this life, we are not, okay, if you're a creator and if you're a social media person, you know exactly what I'm about to talk about. At some point these past years, people wanted and consumed and bought only garbage.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Tyra Banks documentary that's coming out right now, that's what she's trying to talk about. At some point, people were only buying trash.
That is 100% correct. And I've seen this not just in Rwanda, but also elsewhere.
Yes.
So, example, I always say, like, I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan. And I listen to him, and he always has episodes where he invites his comedian buddies on, and they just have a fun conversation. It's just fun to listen to when you don't want something serious.
Yeah.
And what I noticed is there's a lot of other YouTube channels that popped up talking shit about the group and all these individual and the drama. Now, sometimes it'd be like, oh, wait, well, how come they don't hang out and you watch it? But then other times I watch it and it's like, you guys are just shit talking.
Yes.
You're talking about drama.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just curious because, like, how come I don't see this person? What happened to them? But
You
other
too,
times just,
even for you, you're like, but when it goes on for like 25 episodes, that's crazy.
yeah, it's like, this is just hate, and it's not like constructive feedback either, right? But we're losing track of time. I really want to get to the third topic of this.
Go for
Is
it.
the lack of institutional responsibility or institutional support.
Yeah.
Here's what I mean by this. The perfect example of this is BK Creative.
Yeah, Be
First of all,
Creative.
shout out to BK for doing this. Sponsor the podcast. Throw your boy a little money. But like what I've noticed in Rwanda with a lot of things do not happen until the commander-in-chief says, what's up?
Yeah.
With his recent thing on the, what is it?
Bruce Melody, Mushichirano, when he asked, can you help us get monetized?
Right? So I didn't watch the whole thing. I just saw some clips and I had people translate for me.
I understand. They were talking in Kinyarwanda.
So the BK Creative, I think, is an amazing first step for a lot of creative people in this country because there's a huge untapped market. I've always been into creative stuff since 10 years, since I came here back in 2010.
Yes.
But again, things only happen in Rwanda
Yep.
when the president, the commander-in-chief says, why are you not doing anything?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
BK Creative is a great first step.
Yep.
There's many other steps still left.
Yes.
Right? Like teaching artists financial responsibility,
Yes.
business management,
Yes.
how you're going to make money, how you could pay them back. But it's the first step.
Yeah.
And sometimes in Rwanda, as we saw with the thing for the cricket, sometimes something will get built.
Yes.
And you sit there like, why is it being built?
Yeah.
But it's only 5 or 10 years later that you see the use.
Yes. The infrastructure, it also happened with hotels.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're building all these hotels, and
Yeah.
for a while, sometimes I look around and say, do we really need this many hotels? But then when we have all these, like whether it was the Commonwealth or these other things
We're
going on,
ready.
you're like, oh,
We ready. Yeah.
right?
People
Like
have where
when
they're
you
gonna
talk to
sleep.
friends in the hotel industry during those times
Yeah.
or during like peak tourist season, they're
They're not
slammed.
breathing.
They're not breathing. I'm like, damn, is that profitable? Like, yo,
yeah,
right? So it's like this thing of where nothing happens until the boss says so,
Yeah.
which is annoying.
Yeah, it really is.
And the thing is also is that the institution should look at this and say, hey, like example, right? In a lot of African countries, if you want to invest money, you have to have a local partner.
Yeah.
China does the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Which I understand and I get.
Yeah. Even
I have-
Qatar.
I have my problems with it. I don't think it's perfect.
Yeah, but it works for the local. It protects the local people.
Right. So how come there's no incentives at the ministerial level or RDB saying, hey, whenever an artist comes, can you please, even if you don't work with an artist because of maybe like the creativity, it just doesn't make sense. Can you please sit with these 20 guys
Yeah.
for an hour or two and give them life lessons?
Yes.
Because those life lessons, honestly, they can take you so far. I've had moments where I've
Fact.
talked to people I respect and look up to, in different professions, and me talking to them really like revitalizes my love of the game. Perfect example. Sonny from the Long Form podcast.
Yeah.
He reached out to me when I was doing the previous one. I was going through some shit, and he gave me some really solid advice. And you know, one of the biggest solid advice he gave me, again, Sonny, thank you so much for this. He's like, when you're ready to start a new podcast,
Yes.
make sure you have a female co-host. And I'd been thinking about it, right?
I know.
Like,
We even talked about it when we're at the cricket stadium.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I've been really thinking about like,
You had
okay, I
been
need to want to
thinking
start a
about
new podcast. Amanda was the first person I thought, by the way. I came up with this idea last year in February.
Yeah, you told me. On
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cricket
just
thing.
for the audience to know, right? And when he said you should have a female co-host, I was like, he's right. And he gave me like really good advice that I took to heart.
Yeah.
So how come it's not institutionalized where an artist comes and they have to either, I'm not saying force them.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
wrong.
Make
But
it
then-
happen.
but
They have
then,
to
like,
make it happen. It's
like,
something you need to make
if
happen.
you know Doja Cat's performing on Saturday,
Yes.
have a Friday, say, hey, can you sit down and help these local artists?
Meet and greet.
Once upon a time, you were a struggling artist and someone
Yes.
gave you a branch.
Yes.
Pass it forward.
Yes. And they're excited to do so.
Yeah, that's the
Artists are excited to do so.
You know, that's the actual funny thing I've noticed as well. Most successful people in life want someone to teach or help them out.
Yeah.
I saw this in Zambia. I met a lot of very successful, very rich men, multimillionaires.
Yes.
One thing I learned from them, most of them, just messed up to say, and I've seen this in other countries, most of them despise their children. And the reason they despise their children is because these men or women worked very hard to get to where they are.
Yeah.
And of course, they want their kids never to struggle again, and they want to have benefits.
Yeah.
But they despise their children because they do nothing with their lives.
Yes.
When I would come and talk to them, I would be respectful. Like, thank you, sir. Yes, sir. What do you need, sir?
Yeah. They can see the fire in you.
They can see the fire.
themselves in you.
Right? And they were like, when I would ask them, hey, I'm working on this project, can you introduce me to this person? He would straight up say, this particular individual unfortunately passed away. Rest in peace. He was, don't talk to that guy. He's an idiot. He's straight up. He's an idiot.
Don't do it. Don't go there.
Talk to this person instead. So these, like, the problem I think is a lot of people in these institutions, not the artists, will think that, oh, they're bothering Doja Cat or they're bothering Kendrick Lamar by saying,
They need
hey,
to hide that somewhere in the back.
yeah, hide them. They're kids who can't be trusted.
Trusted. They will say something. They will say something.
But the thing is, these artists will look at them as like, hey, I remember when this other artist gave me a, like, Kendrick probably thought about the time Dre signed him.
Yes.
And he got so much info hang out with him. Whether
And he
it was
mentioned
M50.
it.
He mentioned it, right? And they want to pass it forward, right? That's why you find like a lot of successful people, if they find someone, let's use your example, right? Let's say you go all in on the music thing. Doja Cat comes here and she sees the spark in you, right? And she takes you on her wing, for lack of a better word. She's going to love that because she's going to teach you the things she wished someone else had taught her.
Yes.
A lot of successful people in life, not just creatives, want someone they can pass their knowledge on and to help out. So like if you're at an institutional level, whether it's RDB, ministry, whatever, right? Don't think that you telling these artists who are coming here, whether it's artists, whether it's performers, it doesn't matter, who are coming here, that you asking them to help out the guys on the local economy side is a nuisance.
Burden. You're not being a
Would
burden.
be happy to.
Yeah, they would.
You don't
love
like honestly. You don't think if Dangote came next time, they got 100 entrepreneurs from all walks of life. Says you guys, you get 1 day with Dangote, the richest man in Africa.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to ask 5 questions. You don't think Dangote wouldn't like that? He would love that.
All the way.
I've never met the man.
Yeah, there's Masiwa who used to do that. Masiwa is the telecom house.
Oh, from Zimbabwe, right?
Oh my God.
The guy is brilliant.
He loves sitting with young people and explaining. He wants to hear the question, his response. Sometimes I used to watch him in the Youth Transform conference. Like he would, you are able to pull him on the side. 5 seconds. He can even see you, see him, look at him for too long. He's like, how can I help? What's the question you want to ask me? Listen, with the little resources I have, you sat next to me and you were like, oh, I've been trying to do a podcast. And I was like, let's make it happen. I don't have money. I only have my people. I only have my team. It's, first off, we have to talk about it in a scientific way. It releases oxytocin and serotonin. It really does something beautiful in your body for both you who is helping and the person who's receiving help. Because the person who's receiving help, it reduces whatever struggle they're going through by the fact that they are being seen. They understand, okay, Joe, I'm not crazy that I'm trying to do a podcast. It's a normal thing that you want to do a podcast. That's first. Second, We don't got a lot, but we can share. My guy, use him. This, use him. How much money is this? And I tell you, because as human beings, we're social beings. When you keep refusing for people to socialize, especially when they're in the same field, you're cutting. Let's talk about John Legend. John Legend fought to be here because you remember there was a struggle of Rwanda. We were having problems with our neighbors, and normally it was supposed to be the lady. What's her name? The Nigerian lady, Thames.
Thames, yeah.
Thames was
Yeah,
gonna
I
come.
remember, yeah.
And then people are insulting her for not coming. And I'm like, actually, she doesn't really own herself. She's on the record label. There are rules, the contract, there's stuff.
Yeah.
But then John Legend fights to come here. He's like, I don't care what problem is with what problem. Me, I'm coming.
Yeah.
So then he pulls up. So I'm like, you think someone who had to fight
Wouldn't want to help.
wouldn't want to help an artist? He wouldn't want to sit with Ruti Joel and listen to Ruti Joel, and he tells him, and he's like, actually, because John Legend has his own struggles that we know. You know, he was the guy who plays, he doesn't dance, he has his own struggle. Do imagine.
Not only that, but wasn't he wearing, I forget which fashion house.
He wore both Motions and Tanga.
Right?
Tanga designs.
That shows someone who,
And he was so happy to wear it.
he looks so fine.
You know, he looked amazing. But imagine a featuring John Legend and Mike Ihura.
Oh, that would have.
Both they play the piano, but then he went, I was sick. I was so sick. I was really burnt out. I wasn't able to make it. And I felt so sad. I was like, how comes no one made it happen? And properly. Because when we talk about this, sometimes they also say, hey, no, we've made it happen. You see, there's featuring between this and this. Because for me, Mike Ihura should have a proper featuring with Sauti Sol. The one Joshua Baraka has with the lady,
Bro.
whatever contract, whatever that happened, that needs to be done between Bien-Aimé or Sauti Sol with Kaihura.
That is.
He's met them.
So, okay, first of all, shout out to Mike Kahura and also King Kivumbi. The reason I say this, again, I don't actually listen to that much Rwandese music, right? It's just my thing.
Yeah.
The place I work
I
at.
do.
She
In
does.
case you want to beat him. I do listen
So,
to
like, at work, sometimes we do this thing on Friday where we're just all chilling because I work remotely. And we're all like, yo, share your music, what you like. So, me, I'm like, you know, let me put on like music from home, right? And I'll go look up. And I always play Mike Kahura and King Kivumbi.
Yeah.
Those are my go-to. Just because they mix in English and whatever, they're really smart, right?
Hey, even Uganda, Chikankane. They're killing it. No, those guys kill it. I'm like, yeah.
So this lack of institutional responsibility or support is so...
And push.
It's because also I look in my life, like I have one of my dad's friends, an uncle, right?
Yeah.
Toto Stelster.
Yeah.
There's so many times I've come up to him with different business ideas. Again, and he will always support me because he sees like once upon a time he was a young man struggling, right? He'll go out of his way to support me when he has no financial incentive to gain.
No, he sees himself in you. That's
Right?
it.
So it's like these artists, when they say, hey, can you support us? It's not that they're begging. It's not that they're not working hard. It's that they want it so that the next time whoever artist comes to Rwanda, let them sit down.
Yeah.
Right? If you see
Create a proper environment for it. And if you need us to do it for you, we can do it. Me, at this point, I'm like, if we're saying things and you don't know how to make it happen, sit with any... I'll name names. There is Kevin who did the Ruti Joel, Agura group. They will know how to create that environment. Because look at the thing. They were dancing KFK's Muraho, all the corporate things now, they are dancing his songs. KFK, Kid from Kigali, just came from doing something with Visit Rwanda in France. It was Kid from Kigali, Kamanzi and Nick, shout out to you, and Inki. It's a really good song. It's not being played anywhere on radio. It's a really good song. I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
It's not being played anywhere on radio. It's not. And I'm like, if you're dancing his songs, that means you know him. Okay? If they called him to go do that thing, whatever situationship structure that was structuring to make that happen, it was there. If anyone, wanted this pushed properly, this would be pushed. Because we're not just talking about go make sure that John Legend does a song with Mike Ihura, but it's a song that they just did in 1 hour, and there was no proper organizing of how do we push this, because songs need to be marketed. And okay, look at the Joshua Baraka thing and Shansia thing. Look at that, whatever it's called, make that happen for Rwandan artists.
Yeah, because it's not just like with artists with Dangote, right? You always see like, again, this goes back to our commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
Whenever he has these big people, forget about the government people. I'm talking about like sometimes they have like, stars, like celebrities, whatever.
Yeah.
If he asked them, hey, can you sit down with these local artists or these local entrepreneurs? I think they would sit down with you for 2-3 hours. They get to ask you a question. There'll be a lot. Do you think any of them will tell them no? He would tell the president no.
Nope.
Of course not. And the thing is, these small things will go such a long way. And it's so sad it doesn't happen. Like, we're getting to the point where we're repeating ourselves now because like we've been going a bit.
And we've been thinking about this for too long now.
Right.
So, yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me that Doja Cat is coming in, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And one, there's no lineup.
Literally 12 days.
No lineup.
No, we have no idea who's the Rwandan artist who's going to
Right.
come out.
And again, like, the thing is, we could be incorrect. Maybe there's things happening behind the scenes. We just haven't seen the fruit of that, right? But at the same time...
No, I'm watching it. We have not. You see, we saw Doja Cat. It's everywhere in the streets. Yeah. We saw her video on because again, I will talk about things I've done proper research on. Specifically, shout out to Rwanda. It's a page called Rwanda. Anything that she's posting or anyone is doing, he slims it in a way that's digestible for us. Yeah. So she did a video, Doja Cat, talking about, I'm coming to Kigali and Pretoria. I hope you guys are ready. You know, there's a whole excitement because she has roots in South Africa, but she's never been. So she's excited. Those are the two things that have been out so far. And then BK Creative came, and luckily they had Angel Mutona on stage. Luckily. I saw that and I was like, yeah, we talking.
Yeah, but that's more a testament again to Commander-in-Chief. And then also, I never met the lady in charge of BK, but I've heard nothing but pleasant things about her.
I actually don't know her yet. I've worked with BK Arena.
That one, I don't know much. But then from the BK side, I know they're under good leadership.
Yeah, but I don't think it's them who pick the lineup. That's the crazy part. Because everyone was like, but you've worked with these people. Have you approached BK Arena? I'm like, but they're not the ones that pick the lineup because that's a venue.
Yeah, it's a venue. It's not managed by BK.
So even if Move Africa is working with someone, it cannot be BK Arena because BK Arena is a venue. So if it's happening, it's either happening with RDB because RDB has brought Sauti Sol before, it has brought other artists before, or it's Visit Rwanda because again, the Visit Rwanda, the thing I was telling you, kid from Kigali, Yannick and Inky, it was Visit Rwanda now that was making that happen. So it's either RDB or Visit Rwanda or something that we really have no idea what it is, what's the name. Or
It's kind of frustrating.
It really is. So if our amazing, excellent president has not spoken about it, we will wait.
Yeah, unfortunately, actually, that's another thing for another podcast. It's really, really frustrating for the fact that nothing happens unless he's like, why aren't you working?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's so many times we've seen it in the public eye where nothing happens. The moment he says, why aren't you guys doing your job like you're supposed to? All of a sudden, everyone whips into shape. When it's like, bro, dude, you're hired to do a job.
Yep.
There's a whole industry popping up.
Yep.
How come you're not supporting that industry? Let's forget the BK Arena thing, right? Because that one would eventually happen.
Let's talk about the Cheyenne thing. Cheyenne stands up and she asks the question. I've been having a business for 6 years. She's talking about, or 6 or 9. She's talking about Glowforce. She has a business. She started by lipstick. Now it's a full skincare thing. And she's like, every time I go to Majerwa, they always have something new. They always give me a new paper. So for products to come from here to get to me so that I can use them, it takes forever. There's always an issue with getting things from outside to here. So then our excellent president is like, okay, she's talking about the one-stop center. Why is one-stop center not working? This has been a problem for ages.
Don't get me started on the RDB website.
You know, and then the person in charge says, oh, she hasn't reached out to the right people. And then the president is like, again, she said she's been doing this for some years. That means she has tried to reach out to everyone. This is Rwanda. We're a very small country. It's not like...
You'd be surprised how easy it is to get to the person you're trying to get to.
The guy, again, repeats himself. He keeps repeating himself like she has not reached out to the right people. While that's happening, there's a friend of mine who was bringing shea butter, scented shea butter, very soft. I'll bring you some very soft, amazing for the whole hair, everything, your whole body. Body and hair. So she's studying in Majerwa, and on her story, she's posting what's currently happening to her. She's been there for 7 hours. And they keep bringing papers. Oh my gosh, shout out to Liz. And in my heart, I'm watching the Mishichirano thing happening where Cheyenne is asking the question and they're gaslighting her. They're gaslighting her. And then the girl is actually in Majerwa talking about what is the problem here? I'm trying to bring products, amazing products. It's called Sanora. Because shea butter really smells normally like,
Yeah. This is for my
Let me tell you something. I
love shea butter, but like...
But let me tell you, I'm going to buy... It's going to be my gift to you. And then you remember getting it out of the thing? You really have to almost
You have
cut
to
your
write
nails. But let me tell you, that one is soft. It's just you touch it like this, it comes. It smells amazing, and I have it right now. I'm so whenever I tell, I'm so excited about. Oh my god, I'm gonna put it on Sanura, and it smells amazing. How to get those few products out of the money from her pocket? She doesn't have funding. It's not no. She saw a good franchise. She's working with it to bring it here. With the little money we have, she's doing it her best. She's there at Majerwa, sitting and laughing. Do you know when you've been into something, you're so pissed you start laughing? That's what's happening to her.
This I find a very interesting topic, maybe for another episode, because we have to wrap in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The thing I find frustrating about this whole topic is I'm privileged enough that whenever I have a problem with, first of all, I dislike bureaucracies. I've experienced bureaucracies in the UK,
because that's what we're talking about.
In Zimbabwe, in Zambia, and then here. They're incredibly inefficient. Now, they're all really good, kind-hearted people who do an amazing job.
Yeah, here and there.
Here and there.
And they're overworked, yes.
So I'm fortunate enough that I have friends where if I know friends in different institutions where if I need something done, I can be like, bro, I need your help with this.
Yeah.
So I'm privileged enough that I don't really have to struggle with that.
Yeah.
I've never really had to. Maybe, knock on wood, hopefully I don't struggle with it in the future, right?
Yes, knock on wood. There's no wood.
I've never really had to struggle with that.
Yeah.
If I need to get something done, there's always someone on my contact list. And if it's not direct, it's one of your friends.
Yes, but that's why I have a problem with people calling me a fixer. Because they were talking about bribe. It's not money. But it's bribe of who do you know?
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, that discernment, right?
Yeah.
So I've never really had to struggle with this problem.
Yeah.
And then two, the reason I hate this is because I've seen this so many times, right? Let me give you an example. When I was in Zambia, I was with my friend of mine, shout out Miriam, and we had to go to the Zambia Revenue Authority to change the email registration for the business we're both working for. I think I told you the story. So we get there and it's my first time. I'm just driving around, whatever, right? And they're like, okay, we need to change your email. They're like, oh, go talk to that person. Go to that person. Oh, no, go talk to that person.
Proper bureaucracy.
And then points to one person, I'm not going to even describe them. And they're like, yeah, we need to change the email. I was like, oh, no, you see, you need to get this paperwork, whatever. Then, meanwhile, there's Irembo. Shout out to whoever invented Irembo. You go in. I had to pay a fine once.
Yes.
Speeding ticket.
Yes.
I put in the plate number. He gave me the thing. I paid. It cleared the system.
Yeah.
So how come we have Irembo, which is so efficient and well-designed? I don't know who made it. Shout out to whoever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have something like RDB or these other problems you just mentioned with
Majerwa.
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Majerwa. I'll write it for you. Majerwa.
And then we have RDB. Let me give you an example. This is why I hate RDB. And this is why I would rather pay someone.
We struggle with you. We love you, but we struggle with
the
you.
website, not RDB itself, but the website is that I'll go on and there. I'm trying to register a company. Even for this, I was trying to register a company. And it says, go get this document. Yeah. So I go check for the documents. Keep
now
in
you
mind,
have to deal with
not
people.
more than 5 minutes.
Yes.
I come back and it's auto logged out.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean it's auto logged out? We have Irembo, which is by the way, I was thinking before leaving Zambia, I was thinking about creating a Zambian version of Irembo.
Yes.
I had assembled.
They're selling. It's an IP. They start selling it to other countries.
I need to reach out to you guys, but it's. How come it's so efficient? But then you go to RDB and you're trying to do anything on their online portal, not RDB itself.
Yes.
Right? I've met a lot of people there who are very hardworking, very intelligent people, but their website crashes.
Yeah.
Right? Tell me when I upload a document, it will say yes, and then sometimes it will say no. Keep in mind, it's the same document, right? Why is there no proper instructions on how to set it up?
Yeah.
Because it's so frustrating. I would rather pay someone whatever much, 50K or 100K, to deal with this bullshit than me having to sit there and then want to throw my laptop. The last time we were in contact before everything happened.
Yes.
I spent 2 weeks trying to register a production company. You know what happened? I gave up.
Yeah. I know.
Because at the time, all my other contacts, they were busy. You were busy as well. So I couldn't yo, do you have someone, whatever. Yeah. I gave up. Yeah. I spent 2 weeks. I would sit there, look for a document, ask my cousin, ask this, nothing, fails, go back. I'm like, what? Whoever is in charge of this, I'm sorry, should get fired straight away. This is why I can't work in government. The moment I meet someone incompetent, I fire them on the spot. Forget your benefits. No, you stupid, you out. Right? And my whole fascination with this topic is where I've never had to deal with that BS, whether it's taxes, Majerwa,
yeah.
whatever.
Hospitals,
because I can call a friend.
Yeah.
right? Which is a privilege.
Yes,
Most
it's
people
a
don't have.
very, very strong privilege. It's
Right,
a
which
wrong
most people-
privilege. I hate that I have that privilege.
Right? Like it's a privilege I have. I want to apologize for it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But at the same time, when I had my limited experience with the RDP website,
Yeah.
I look at Irembo and how easy it is to get anything done. Like a friend of mine had come to Rwanda for something.
Yeah.
He needs to get a copy of his birth certificate.
Yeah.
He goes, he submits the documents. Tell him, go to this place to submit a document. And he calls me, he's like, yo, by the way, can I come chill at your place? I'm not too far while I wait for the document. He arrives at the house. He sits down. We're talking, catching up. He gets a message. The document is ready.
Yeah.
So how come Irembo's there? And then there's, I'm going to go on like...
No. It goes back to the first question you brought up, professionalism. So this is the thing. For Irembo to work properly, first off, they respect developers. Yeah? When you go to Irembo, I don't know if you've been, we can visit, you will enter and it's such a youthful, it's like walking into Google or it's
a
such
tech startup.
youth tech field, and the people on top it's such a flow. And I'm not saying they don't have problems. They do have problems. I've met them. They're good friends of mine. They do have their own problems. But when it comes to professionalism, they create an environment where from here to here, everything is smooth. Yeah? And they really work like crazy. Like I've seen the hours. I was like, damn. But go back to RDB. Now walk into RDB. Go search for the web developer room that they've put somewhere. If you want things to work like it, for me at first I was scared for Irembo because I was like, now we've put everything there. When you go to Mitwell, it's there, healthcare. When you go to police, it's there. When you're getting married, Irembo. Everyone was using Irembo to the point where I was like, actually, you're going to make this system crash because if someone hacks this, they have the full system of the country. But then when I walked into the Irembo, I was like, so they are aware. They are listening to the young people. They are listening to these developers. Because developers are guys in the room like him in the back on laptops.
Yeah.
They're not dressed like how we're dressed. They don't talk such fancy language. No, they know how to sit and code for hours and hours and hours. That's why something works. Because they respect professionalism. They understand that these kids need support, and whatever support that they need will be provided.
And most importantly as well, from my understanding, they're well paid.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And
very few of us are that well paid.
The whole well paid thing, I've seen this so many times in my personal life and also looking at other people.
Yeah.
When you pay someone well, it is so amazing. Yeah. Because one, they don't have to stress about
they have their nice struggle. That's what I meant when I said nice struggle.
They have nice
Can we have nice struggles of there's a new data or there's a new what do you call them? These guys developers have their own language. There's a new system that came that they need to figure out. And they're stressed about it. But he's eating, he has food to eat, he has something to drink. That's a nice struggle. I'm like, I want to say, what are your
They're
problems?
struggling on the things that they're working for and they're paid to worry about, right?
Yes.
So Irembo works. And then again, with RDB, nothing against RDB. I know they've done an amazing work, but then the website is,
Respect developers. That's it. To fix the problem you're facing,
honestly,
respect developers.
Honestly, like, if I can say one thing to the leadership, fire is the wrong word.
Be nice. There's a random way of doing things.
Get Irembo to do your whole backend system for the website. Because again, this whole registration online is so painfully difficult.
And you know the scary thing? They keep advertising that registering a business in Rwanda can be done in less than a day.
You see, this is the other problem I have.
I'm like,
it can be done in less than a day when you have someone who knows how to work the system and who can call their friend at the back end and like, yo, prove this, right?
Yeah. But if you're just walking in and you don't have a big person bribing with their connections, because when you use the word bribe, people think we're talking about money. And I'm like, no, there's such a thing as uruwa kwande. Who is your dad? Who is your mom? Who do you know? Who do you know? I hate that sadly because now there's no more corruption money. There's a new one of who do you know? And then there's a cleaner way, romanticizing it way that they call connections. And I'm like, nope.
And it's okay. The thing is, you know what about this? It's not just the who's your dad or who's your family is, but then it's also like, again, because of the schools we both went to.
Yes.
You may walk into this place and the director is your friend.
Yes.
Because you went to school together. So when you ask him, hey, I'm having a problem, he's not looking at it as, oh, this is a bribe. This is bad. Oh, no, that's my homie from school. You know how many times he dragged me back home when I was drunk? And he wants me just to help him with one piece of paperwork? That's perfectly fine.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So it's not like insidious corruption where it's like, oh, here's $10,000, whatever. It's more of it's normal human things.
Yeah.
You will
But
help
make
your
it
friend.
better. Make it better because Irembo helps me. He doesn't know who I am. Irembo gets things done. They don't know who I
I've never
am.
struggled. I've used Irembo a total of no more than 4 times in my life.
Yeah.
That's how pretty I am. I've no more than
But-
4 times in my life,
Yeah.
right? Because I had to register for like a passport, this, that, pay a ticket, fine. And every time, it was so smooth. I was like,
No, let me tell you, me, when it even crashes
Hmm?
and someone has something mean to say about it, I will fight them. I'm like, breathe in and breathe out.
yeah, sometimes it crashes.
Sit and wait. Sometimes it crashes. But you know that they did their very best. These are the people that I don't have to overthink about. Look at how Irembo is everywhere. They have agents everywhere. Little boutique Irembo. So I don't have to think about connections and who's who, what.
It's the ultimate equalizer because what you need to get done gets done equal there and there. But we've gone a little bit long. 1 hour, 20 minutes. This is
We
a
will
new
come
record
back.
for me.
You have me back another time.
Oh yeah, if we don't get cancelled, hopefully. So guys, thank you for this episode 5 of Make War Not Love. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Share this with a friend. If there's a guest, again, for now, it's going to be mostly female guests until I find the perfect guest.
Celebrate us, it's March.
It's not just the March thing, right? But
Ah,
then
you
it's
want the
like
whole-
actually let me explain the logic, right?
Yeah.
With the previous podcasts, I could always get accused of it's just 2 niggas talking shit.
I know what you mean.
So it's more lopsided, right? So if we
Yes.
talked about something, sometimes we did say some stupid shit we shouldn't have said. I take responsibility for
Yeah.
that. But then it's like with the woman, it's more balanced. Like,
Because we will call you out.
yeah, call it, right? So the perfect example is that when Amanda was talking about the mansplaining, we were talking about this before, is I still don't get it, but I like the fact that she expressed herself, right? When you look in that video, most of the comments are women praising Amanda,
Yeah.
which I liked
Yeah.
because she was expressing her point of view.
And now we can,
Then
it's a conversation. Yeah. You
It says, like
yeah.
me and you were talking about where it doesn't make sense, but I get it,
Yes.
right? So is there anything else you want to say before?
No, just put Angel Mutoni on stage. I think it's too late, sadly.
Hopefully, I think this will be coming out next Tuesday because these guys work their magic. And
No, I
don't you
mean,
have-
it will be too late for Angel Mutoni.
Oh, yeah.
It will be
But
too late. Check
don't
out
you have
Experiment with Anderson.
an event
Oh
on
my
the
God,
15th?
yes, on the 14th.
14th is a Sunday or Saturday?
Yes, it was supposed to be, my birthday is 15th of March, so I'm celebrating my birthday, putting other artists up and coming on stage. I do that. I tend to do that. But then they told me they had a good idea. They were like, how about we do on the 14th, we get in, we have fun, and then midnight of the 15th arrives when we're all together.
Perfect. Where is it going to be?
Diplomat Hotel, right under KCC, right under Star Times, the big building of Star Times. Right under it, there's a hotel called Diplomat. It's a nice.
Oh, okay. I
cozy-
think I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So check that out. I need to get tickets
Yes.
for me and someone.
Yes, please bring someone. Don't come by yourself. Thank you.
Cool. So, guys, thank you again. See you next time and peace out.
Make war not.
Deuces.